Mrs. Houston, thanks so much for your time and for this interview. First, we will start with what Steve Witkoff has said today. He said that the president presented regional leaders yesterday with the Trump 21-point plan for the peace in the Middle East and Gaza. Would you elaborate, please, on this plan, and do you expect it to be implemented?
Well, thank you for having me. It's exciting to be here at the UN General Assembly with world leaders across the board, here focused on the issues that are most concerned and opportunities to move for paths towards peace. What we are expecting to hear with this 21-point plan is really an opportunity to strengthen stability, security, and prosperity in the Middle East. This administration has been focused from the start that we want to see an end to conflicts. We want to see greater opportunities, economic opportunities for the citizens of the Middle East, which is what they deserve. And ultimately, we want to see a Middle East that thrives, that uses and leverages their expertise, their experience to not only support the Middle East, but the world globally. And we know we can achieve this. So we're looking forward to hearing more about the 21-point plan, as Senior Advisor Witkoff mentioned, and more from the White House on the plan.
Another meeting, important meeting happened today too, between Secretary Rubio and the Gulf foreign ministers at the hotel. What was the main topic that the Secretary has discussed with the ministers? The Gaza war is one of the important topics for the Middle Eastern leaders. Did the Secretary ask them not to recognize the Palestinian state now, or to be more flexible with Israel?
Look, we have heard from the Secretary on multiple occasions about the importance of bringing this war in Gaza to an end. I am very positive this was part of the discussion, that we want to see continued support from the Middle East to end this war in Gaza, that the suffering has gone on for far too long, that it is tragic and unexplainable what we're seeing on the ground. The United States has been one of the largest supporters and contributors to ending this conflict based on the bold leadership of this administration. We want to not only see an end to this war, but we want to see an unconditional exit of Hamas. Hamas is causing great danger to its own people. They're essentially at war with its own people, and we need to see an unconditional exit if we want to see clear peace moving forward. We also have been focused on getting back the hostages, and the Secretary, the President, they've said this over and over again. We want those hostages home right now. And this plan for the Middle East will include conversations to get us there. This administration is creating a roadmap that will ensure that we can end the war in Gaza and decrease conflicts across the Middle East, because we know the potential that the Middle East has, that the 21st century will be shaped and driven by our partners in the Middle East, and we want to see this happen immediately.
And did the leaders, the Arab leaders, agree on this plan, and they will support it?
Well, look, we look forward to hearing more about the 21-point plan and what this means. We have great leadership from the region. We've seen great leadership from the region as it relates to ending the war in Gaza, but support for humanitarian efforts writ large, support for ending conflicts and creating opportunities for direct talks. And we expect that the leaders will continue to support our efforts and our leadership in bringing peace to the Middle East.
Moving to Iraq and the Kurdistan region, how do you assess the U.S. Kurdistan regional government relation?
Well, look, our focus with Iraq is to ensure Iraq can do a number of things. We have a great long-standing partnership with Iraq. We want to see Iraq have greater stability, greater economic opportunities with the United States, and that includes the Iraq Kurdistan region. That includes, first and foremost, defeating ISIS. It includes ensuring that Iraq no longer has to suffer from malign influences from Iran, and that Iraq can have energy independence. These are the things we're focused on with Iraq. We know Iraq has the potential to get there. We're going to continue to work closely with Iraq to make all of these things come to fruition. But first and foremost, we need to see greater security so that we can increase economic partnerships, economic development, investments with our partners in Iraq.
And what's your view regarding the upcoming elections in Iraq that will happen in a couple months?
Look, we understand that the elections are coming up sometime in October, as it has been mentioned, and we hope, as we always do, for elections to be free and fair, for elections to take into the consideration the voices of its citizens, that it's important that Iraq follow its laws and protocols. And we have such a strong relationship with Iraq. We have lots of respect for the government, and we look forward to seeing these elections be smooth.
Mignon, do you expect the snapback sanctions on Iran to be re-implemented by September 28th?
Look, this president has been very clear. President has been very clear in stating that Iran can never acquire a nuclear weapon. And what we saw by the E3 reinitiating and imposing snapback sanctions is because we haven't seen Iran come to the table. We haven't seen Iran decide to pull back on their nuclear ambitions. And this president is clear about one thing and one thing only, and that is Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And for that reason, we will, as the United States government, we will work towards successful implementation of the snapback, but we want ultimately to be able to have direct and meaningful dialogue with Iran. We want direct and meaningful dialogue with Iran. We want to ensure that Iran can come to the table and speak to us. We have been clear that Iran has to be committed to International Atomic Energy Agency, that Iran should be committed to ensuring that UN inspectors can see its nuclear sites, that these commitments we want to see fulfilled in order for us to believe that Iran is fully ready to commit and have a conversation that will bring stability and peace for the people of Iran, because that's the ultimate goal, the citizens of Iran. And so we will hear more about snapback, but this administration was very grateful and very appreciative of the E3 for starting this conversation, for starting this initiation, and that's because we haven't seen Iran do what we want to see from Iran as far as its commitment to pull back on its nuclear ambitions.
Last question on Lebanon. Ambassador Barak was very critical of the Lebanese government non-action toward disarming Hezbollah. Do you have any message to the Lebanese government in this regard?
Look, as long as Hezbollah has weapons, words are not enough. We need to see the LAF be fully responsible for security. We want a LAF that is able to, as they have mentioned, pull back weapons and put them under the state control that we expect. There have been lots of changes, and we've seen significant progress from the LAF, but we need to see more. And we want the LAF to have the ability to have accountability and the ability to have a safe and secure Lebanon. And we look forward to seeing this come to fruition.
Thanks so much, Mignon.
You're so welcome.
Much.